The benefit of full stack monitoring is to provide contextual awareness to enterprise IT of what's happening on the network. With discrete bespoke components, it's the IT administrator is the glue between all of those particular products. You see a performance issue or a user calls up and says that the network is performing badly or they're having application issues. And so you might look in an application performance monitoring system, and then you'll take the administrator takes context from it and then goes and looks at a network performance management system and then may go look at a packet capture. And it's your IT administrator that becomes the glue. And when they go and they pass off the ball or the workload to somebody else who might be more of an expert in a different field, they're going to have to type out all that context and they're going to have to convey it in some way. There's an awful lot of work. It's really inefficient when you're working in large dynamic IT shops, or even when you're in a smaller IT shop and you just don't have the time because you've got 100 burning fires to go put out. So with full stack monitoring, it's one, looking at the application stack from layer one all the way up to the application and looking side to side, understanding the inventory that's out in the network, understanding the topology that's in the network, both of the physical layer as well as the virtual layer, and having that full view of what's on the network and then being able to very quickly move from one part of the stack to the other part of the stack, maintaining that context. So a user calls in and says they're having bad application performance, or that the application seems slow and they can't get their work done. Well, you can take that user information, looking at the application layer, and begin to understand the client and the server and what's happening at that level. And then you can really quickly start to drill down and you can look at all the parts of the chain that makes up that application and start looking at those metrics. And then if you need to, you can go deeper and you can start looking at what's happening at the hardware layer and understand what that topology looks like. And if it's in a virtualized environment, which in most cases it's going to be, you can understand what's happening at the physical layer and understand what's happening at the virtual layer and start to relate those two layers together because they may look very different. So with full stack monitoring, that's unified into a system, and that doesn't necessarily mean it's all one big monolithic server, but it's an integrated system of different components, then that provides the context to allow IT to very quickly resolve problems and very quickly understand what's happening on the network. And then when they need to, they can pass that ball with full context to somebody else.